guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday morning. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday morning. So I want to give you guys 14 things that you may, all caps, may be experiencing because you are very, all caps, very close to breakthrough. Now, there are a lot of things, much more than 14, but these are the 14 downloads I received to share this morning. So let's start. It's 14, but I'm just going to say next because I always lose count. First one, all hell has broken loose. And I mean, all hell has, listen, it's from every angle. It's from every angle. All hell has broken loose. Next, you are losing things. Particularly right now, I'm speaking about material possessions, more tangible things. But you are losing a lot of items. This can look like your car was repossessed, the house had mold in it, whatever. But a lot of your material things, you're losing those things. Next, relationships are drying up. Relationships of all sorts are drying up. Next, you are extremely weary. We're not speaking about tired. We're speaking about weary. And it's physically, it's emotionally, it's mentally. You're extremely weary. But there's grace. You may feel like you're going to pass out. You may feel like your mind is slipping, but there's a grace upon you that's going to get you out of this season. That real heaviness where it almost feel like you're going to pass out, that's a great sign that you're close to breakthrough, because at this point, the enemy is trying to do something to take you out. All right. So follow your directions in regards to reaching out to people that you trust, in regards to prayer, in regards to help. This right here is not the time for pride. The enemy will try to set you up right here, especially those of you who don't like to ask for help. Many of us, especially chosen people, because we don't really even. So be very careful. This right here will be the time that you got to move pride aside and ask for help. Just see it like this right here, that it is designed for the breakthrough to happen. See, that'll make it easier because you're not looking at it like, oh, I'm going to have to ask this person this, and they may say no, or they may try to. This is designed to help you shift. Next, Satan will use other people, the people closest to you, to start stuff and to harass your nerves. The people support who you need right now will be the very people that he will start dropping demonic downloads, and these people are causing more strife that's adding to the weariness that you're already currently going through. And these will be the people closest to you. Next, nothing you do will work. Nothing, all caps, nothing you do will work. Anything you try to put your hands to is just not going to work. I'm speaking about in regards to the things that he's removing. I'm not speaking about something that he may direct you to that's going to be an instruction to the open door to breakthrough, things like that. I'm speaking about the things that you know that he has removed, things that are drying up, things like that. That could look like, for example, a job, and you may love the job, or maybe you don't love the job. It's just the way you pay your bills, so you're going to stick it out, right? But he shut that door. He either allowed the place to file bankrupt and they had to let you go, or you got fired or something. Or it could have even been something that you deemed to be unfair, like you were innocent in it, but he closed that door, right? But because you can't see what he's about to do or how he's going to shift you, you keep going back to the job, trying to find ways to explain yourself or beg back for your job. Once God shuts the door, there's absolutely nothing you can do. You got to trust and believe that no matter how much you feel uncomfortable right now and you feel like you're in fight or flight or how I'm going to make it next month, no matter how you're feeling, this is the faith move. You got to trust and believe that until that next door opens for you, he will provide. Next thing. This is, he has severed or will sever soul ties. This can look like relationships with narcissists or just people, somebody you have a soul tie with. These are the people that you know that relationship been done long ago. Like you don't even like the person anymore, but there's a soul tie that's keeping you tied. And you've tried everything. You've tried to leave 29 times. You keep going back, right? You're trying to focus and you're longing for, right? So something will happen supernaturally. You still have a part to play. If he says, don't answer the phone, don't answer the phone. If he says, change the number, change the number. If he says, move out of that house, move out of the house. Whatever the instructions are, you got to work with him, right? It's a partnership. But there's going to be a supernatural grace that break that soul tie and it severs it. And it is going to shock you because one day you're going to wake up and be like, I thought I could have never gotten over this. Child of God, right? Next. He is going to send you guardian angels. You will randomly, you don't even go looking for them now, right? I don't care what you're going through. You don't go looking for them. He will literally put guardian angels in your path. These people can supply you with something you need specifically for that day, and they disappear and you'll never see them again. Or another example out of many, there is something that you can't do it because maybe you don't have the experience to do it, right? But he's going to bring a person who has the experience, but because the person is a guardian angel, they're already spiritually connected. So they're going to help you in whatever way, like they're going to do you favors, that type of thing, right? You don't even know what you're doing from your head to your feet, right? But this person will literally be designed to help you open a certain door, help you close a certain door. You may not even have the financial backing to pay them, but they're ordained for your life. So this is why I always tell people about destiny helpers. You don't go look for destiny helpers. If you go look for destiny helpers, you are going to attract the wrong people for the wrong motives and mindsets. Destiny helpers and guardian angels are literally designed to see you. And God will tell them everything you need. And they're going to, and the thing about it is, because when you're in seasons like this, I mean, your pride is already to the floor. You don't want to ask for help. You're probably ashamed of this and ashamed of that. Honey, these people will make you feel so comfortable and like you matter and that you are everything, regardless of this low point in your life. Next one, there's a disconnect from people and things. Now, I said earlier, disconnect in the sense of you're losing people, things like that. But right now, I'm speaking more about a desire you had for people, not just romantic. This can be a desire for people and a desire for the things that you used to do or what used to catch your attention. It no longer intrigues you. You're no longer happy with being a people pleaser. Right? Or even if you're just a server, you're not a people pleaser per se, but you're just a server. You're going to start losing the desire to serve certain people, if that makes sense. And it's not that you won't serve again. Oh, you will serve again. You just can't serve them or it any longer. Next thing, your back will be or has been or currently pushed against the wall. It's almost like there's a time clock. Your back is against the wall about something. That can look like a bill. These people are about to come and evict you literally tomorrow. Put your things on the street. This can look like I don't know. Your back is against the wall, right? Now, God know all along he's going to come through for you. But he's going to put your back against the wall to see if you're going to trust him to come through. Let's say, for example, I've used this examples before. So those of you who've been here for a long time, you probably heard me say this before. Let's say that your lights are due to be cut off at 5 o'clock. These people, honey, have already called you this morning and told you 5 o'clock, your lights will be turned off. And honey, at this point, it's 4 o'clock. And I mean, nothing has came through. The people you call and ask to borrow money, they're going to get back with you. I'm going to get back with you. Honey, it's now 4:30. Nothing, you have no job. You have no money, right? Kids probably running around crazy, stressing you out even further. There is nothing in the physical realm that makes sense on how you're going to pay this bill by 5 o'clock. Now, it's 5:54. Ain't nothing happening. Honey, Satan is in your ear telling you to call that ex that God told you bet not call that narcissist ever again in your life, right? The enemy is now taunting you. You fool. You sitting here trying to follow God and your life's about to, you know these kids is crazy. And you, right, like, and you're just sitting here battling your mind like, I mean, Lord, what are you going to do? Because I don't, right? 4:59. Nothing has, and I'm talking about you're sweating, but all you know is that God had been clear to you that you just better stand in that corner and trust him. 5 o'clock. No money, nobody came through, but your light's still on. Honey, the utility truck done got a flat tire, a blown engine trying to get to you. Lights still on. An hour later, somebody calls you, returns your call. Oh, I was at work. My bad. I totally forget. Yeah, I got something for you. He will put, and that's just an example, he will push your back against the wall. And this is designed to build your faith and to build, not that you don't already have faith, but it's designed to build it further because your next season, listen, listen. If you think that's back against the wall, wait until you get to where you're going. Listen, flashback. I just had this flashback, honey. After passing one of those kind of tests, and I got elevated from passing like a test similar to that, in the next season, or child, I get weary thinking about it. One of my patients had got extremely sick. Extremely sick. So much so that when one of my staff called me, I was all the way in California, honey. I was at a winery out there enjoying myself, honey. I was at the winery, honey. I had some cheese and some crackers. And I got a call that one of my patients was extremely sick. I flew back home. By the time I got there, whatever, we rushed her to the ER, things like that. Listen, you know when them doctors come in the room and they're looking all fool up in their face? Right? They're looking all fool up in their face and they're telling you to go ahead and, get family involved or make arrangements and this, that, and the third. Listen. And we're human. So don't ever get it twisted that we won't have this. The point is our faith is our foundation, but we're still human, right? But the key is you got to stay locked into your faith. Even when your flesh is struggling a little bit, you got to stay firm in your faith. Also, you can't get too caught up in the flesh because what happened is you can't even hear your downloads. See, God will give you strategic things. The enemy is sitting here like he's in one ear, but God is telling you can't hear what God is saying to you on what to say, what to do, this, that, and third. You can't hear that when you're too freaked out in your flesh. And even if you have a quick moment, you got to get back to the foundation of your faith. You got to start speaking. Honey, then people coming in and told us, basically, my patient was like, for real. I said, sir, I hear you. I do. I hear you. But that's not the case. Oh, yes, ma'am, it is. Matter of fact, we're going to have to we're going to have to rush right now downtown to the critical of all critical units. I said, sir, we're not going anywhere. All is well. They will be fine. This man looked at me like I was crazy. Now, mind you, they're freaking out in their flesh, right? I mean, they're doing their job respectfully. They're freaking out in their flesh. They're going in and out the room. Got all kind of other doctors coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm standing right there. Not that I wasn't concerned, but I was stable enough to hear God says, get your lotion. You ain't got no anointed oil in your purse because you just come off, Get your lotion. Honey, I got my lotion and I rubbed it together as it was some anointed oil. And I'm praying and I'm pleading and I'm demanding, I'm rebuking everything in that room. Now, of course, not like that, right? They're still coming in and out that room. Same foolishness. We're going to have to listen. The last time they came in that room and they reset those buttons, every reading normal. And now they're looking at each other like, what just happened? Now they all return, about 4 or 5 of them. We don't know what happened, but we don't even have to go to ICU again. We're going to a regular floor. I mean, we don't know what happened. I mean, everything is normal, and I know what happened. Then when we got shifted to the regular floor, there was a nurse up there who clearly knew the Lord. You know how you meet them people, you can feel it all in your spirit, like your spirit recognized their spirit. And she said, you guys, were you guys in such and such, the room one something, something, something? She was like, oh my goodness, we heard about this and we heard about like everybody's talking about how the patient is so lucky. No, man, we're blessed. We're not lucky for that. I get it. You got to stand in your faith. And I mean, we've had situations like that even after, but you don't even freak out almost at all at this point because you know God's track record. Whatever you're going through, it's okay for your flesh to get a little concerned and, we're human, but you got to stand and trust God. The minute you give the enemy any room to slip in because there's doubt, he's going to slip in. And you're not going to be strong enough to stand, to rebuke, to anoint, to cover whatever your directions are from the Holy Spirit within that minute. I promise you, I spent too much time there, at least so I think, because my goal was to get down these things but maybe somebody need that. Stand on your faith. I don't care what no doctors say, respectfully. I don't care what no lawyers say, respectfully. Stand on what God has said to you. Next thing. I was going to say this, and then I felt like I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to be too controversial about it. But I'm sure you guys already know I'm a perspective thinker. I can see things from different point of views. It just doesn't mean that one thing is the truth, if you will. Sometimes when it comes down to certain diseases, do you notice how the person really don't get extremely sick until they get a certain diagnosis? And this is not all the time, of course. This is not all the time. But it could just be some random, you're just going to the doctor for some random stuff. There were no issues. This is just a regular routine checkup. And these people come back and tell you something. Now, all of a sudden tomorrow, you're extremely sick. You have to be careful what you allow the enemy to plant into your spirit without rebuking and uprooting that and expelling that stuff out of your spirit. And again, we're human, so it's not, it's okay to think or whatever, but I'm speaking about you can't let that stuff sit up in you. Because before you know it, you're stressing, right? Your immune system is down. You now gave the enemy, room to get up in there through a crack, and now he takes over. Now your mind, so you can't even hear the directions of God telling you how to strategically move a certain way. Strategically, I'm going to send you to a doctor that is designed specifically to help you, right? I'm going to send you their strategic moves, but you got to be tapped in to hear it. Next thing. Really quickly, the thing that's going to have your back pushed up against the wall, the thing that I was speaking about, but it's going to be like the last minute, also is going to be things that God specifically told you not to touch again. It could be a temptation. It could be, is going to be something that he specifically told you not or never to touch it again. Next thing. Well, never mind, because I already kind of like put that in somewhere else. Closing our doors and drying things up. I kind of alluded to that earlier when I was talking about the job and things like that. But just everything. Everything is drying up. Relationships, people, places, things, everything, desires, everything is drying up. Next one, you feel very directionless and even defeated. All hell is breaking loose, honey, but you don't even know where you're going. Like there's no direction. God haven't like shown you the path per se or the blueprint. So you feel extremely directionless. Even if he told you he's going to send you somewhere or use you somewhere, there's still no blueprint. You don't know how you're going to get there. You know where you're going to live, this, that, and third. You feel very, very directionless and even defeated. Next, the obstacle will be over your head. I also alluded to this earlier in regards to he'll bring a person to help you, the guardian angel. So there's going to become an obstacle or obstacles that is literally over your head. This is way beyond you, right? But remember, he's about to elevate you. So he elevates your thinking. He elevates your experience. So with this obstacle being over your head, whoever he uses as the guardian angel or the person to help you, they're going to teach you within that process. The person won't leave you, right? But this is also how this is going to be part of your elevation, because once you get to the next level, you're now going to know how to do that thing, conquer that thing, have trust to see it all the way through, have faith to see it all the way through. So the obstacle is going to be too over your head. But that's what elevation, you're stretching. He's stretching you. That's the word. Next, last one, actually. Doors of opportunities will start to become open and available to the very thing that he's calling you to. Now, this is typically going to be like right towards the ending of once you coming out of that thing, like you'll start to see, like sometimes when you're in storms, well, if you're going through one of these storms before major elevation, you're blind. You're blind while you're in it. But at some point, when you just keep walking blind in awe, you'll start to see a glimmer of light. You're not going to see the whole picture, but you will start to see a glimmer of light and hope. And like, oh my goodness, at some point, I'm really coming out of this thing, right? But then you will start to see opportunities then start to open for you. I can visually, literally see somebody walking through a dark tunnel, and you start to see that light, and then you run towards the end of the tunnel. And there's going to be opportunities already aligned for you once you come out of this. So the season of breakthrough, the season of elevation, you now have favor. So whatever interview you go through, you're going to get the job. Whatever manager position you go through, even if you've never been a manager before, you don't even know your head from your feet when it comes down to managing anything, but there's going to be favor. There are going to be people with applications that, they look on paper, they might have 20 degrees. You don't even have one. But the favor that God has on you in this kind of season, remember, it's God ordained. So wherever the opportunity is, these people are ordained to help you. So they're going to see something in you spiritually. They're going to feel something spiritually that will override. This happens to me all the time. This happens to me all the time in both aspects. I hire people when other people resume is 20 times more, but there's a spiritual conviction. No, I need you to hire this person. Now, do I know why? No, I'm just obedient. But that may be, that's between them and God, honey, right? So that happens to me in that way. And also, there's been times I've been elevated where maybe I was the only woman in the room, the only Black person in the room, with Satan in my ear as well. Do you look around and see these people around you? Who you talking to? Who you talking to? My Lord and Savior told me to bring my behind here and to sit here and don't be intimidated by anybody. He will give me the words if I stay tapped in. I didn't come here on my own accord, so I don't have to be worried. I mean, you might have a look, head up, looking straight in the eyes. How are you? Confidence, period. And the people will see in you, right? It's a spiritual connection. All this stuff is spiritual. It's all connected. It's all connected. So guys, those are my 14 things. I think I did 14. I don't even know. But really quickly, if you are in this season, a couple of very, very, very all caps, very important things to keep in mind. You cannot have anybody pulling from you in this kind of season. You're already weary. You're already depleted. The little bit of energy and mind left that you have that needs to be reserved, right? With, of course, in addition to your grace and your guardian angels, things like that. But you got to do your part. People pleasers, this is the time that you must learn boundaries. This is the time that if Satan is using people closest to you to start foolishness, to stress you out, leave these folks where they're at. You're going to miss your shift. You got to stay focused. You got to stay determined. You got to stay tapped in. This is the time, honestly, if something is disturbing your spirit, don't even reply back to these folks, because especially if it's a narcissist, it's going to keep your mind entangled. Your mind is already halfway, So you got to, listen, let these people be. Let them argue with themselves. Let them play it with that demonic room with themselves. You got to focus on you right now. Lastly, you have to be very, all caps, very determined. Determined, and you got to have some fight in you. Yes, God has your back, absolutely. But there's going to be a part you have to play. You're going to get tired, but you got to get up. And with these kind of storms before major breakthrough, honey, one day you're going to be crawling. You're going to get knocked so hard. That's okay. Stay down that day, but tell yourself, oh, Satan, you got me bad today. I ain't going to lie. But tomorrow, I got you. Right? You got to get back up. You might take 3 steps. You might fall again. You got to get back up. You got to swing. You might get punched in the head from Satan next day. Get back up. It literally is a fight. It literally is a fight. Now, again, certain seasons, blessings just find you easy as pie. But there are certain seasons like this right here, honey. You will feel like your mind is slipping. Like literally, you will feel like your mind is slipping. But before you know it, God is going to send you people. Because remember, he uses people. God will send you people that will open doors that will change your life. Stay the course. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.